There are moments in our lives when we are reminded of how God speaks to us. Through prayer, through others, and sometimes through miracles. Here are 5 Catholic miracles that reveal God's presence and continue to inspire faith throughout history. On May 13, 1917, in the village of Fatima, Portugal, 3 shepherd children, Lucia Santos and her cousins, Francisco and Jacinta Mardo, saw an apparition of the Virgin Mary. Mary urged them to pray the Rosary and shared revelations. To confirm the authenticity of her apparitions, the Virgin Mary assured the children she would provide a sign during her final appearance so others could believe in her message. On October 13, 1917, tens of thousands gathered to witness what became known as the Miracle of the Sun, despite heavy rain that had soaked the ground and the pilgrims who had come to Fatima. As the crowd waited, the children reported the arrival of the Lady of the Rosary, who asked for a chapel to be built in her honor and called for daily prayer and repentance. Her final message urged people to stop offending God, as he was already greatly offended. At her departure, the rain ceased, and the dark clouds parted, revealing the sun as a spinning silver disc. Witnessed by around 70,000 people, it moved unpredictably, leaving many in awe. Simultaneously, the children saw visions of Street Joseph, the child Jesus, and Our Lady in different forms, each blessing the world. This marked the final public apparition at Fatima, a moment still celebrated as a profound sign of God's presence and the Virgin Mary's intercession. In 1858, in Lourdes, France, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous witnessed 18 apparitions of the Virgin Mary. A miraculous spring emerged where Mary appeared, and its waters became renowned for healing. Over 7,000 attested miracles have been recorded. One example is that of Gabriel Gargan, who was paralyzed after a train accident and regained his mobility after bathing in the waters. Another well-documented miracle involved a man named Jean-Pierre Bailly, who regained his sight after years of blindness. Today, Lourdes remains one of the most significant Catholic pilgrimage sites, drawing millions seeking faith, hope, and renewal. The Miracle of Lanciano, one of the most extraordinary Eucharistic miracles, occurred in the 8th century in the Italian town of Lanciano. A Basilian monk, struggling with doubts about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, experienced an astonishing event during Mass. As he pronounced the words of consecration, the bread and wine visibly transformed into human flesh and blood before his eyes. The flesh and blood were preserved and have been venerated ever since. Scientific studies conducted in the 1970s confirmed that the flesh is cardiac tissue from a human heart and the blood is type AB. Remarkably, the blood also contains proteins found in normal, fresh human blood. To this day, the relic has not shown signs of decay. For 1250 years, it has been a profound testament of the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Saint Januarius, also known as San Gennaro, was a 4th century bishop of Benevento, Italy, and a martyr of the early Christian Church. According to tradition, Januarius was arrested for his faith and ultimately executed by beheading. After his death, a vial of his blood was preserved as a relic. Centuries later, this relic became the center of a miraculous phenomenon. On 3 specific days each year, the dried blood in the vial liquefies in Naples, Italy. Though scientists have studied the relic, the exact cause of the liquefaction remains unexplained. Eucharistic miracles, extraordinary events where the consecrated bread and wine transform into real flesh and blood. A remarkable connection has been discovered in many of these miracles. The blood from the Eucharist consistently tests as type AB. As mentioned before, the earliest case is the Miracle of Lanciano. This connection extends to more recent miracles. In Tixla, Mexico, 2006, a bleeding host was found to contain human cardiac tissue with AB blood, showing signs of distress, as if from trauma. In Legnica, Poland, 2013, another Eucharistic host developed blood stains, which tests identified as human heart tissue with type AB blood. These miracles transcend time and geography, with their shared characteristics pointing to the universality of Christ's sacrifice and his enduring invitation to all humanity.